I'm Yoram Solomon, and this is the Book of Trust. Chapter 6, the third law of trust. Trust is personal. I had started my practice by helping companies generate ideas, but quickly I learned that those ideas didn't stick. Upon completion of my doctoral research, I learned that the reason was that some companies just didn't have the right culture. Throughout my research, I succeeded in isolating the three elements of such culture and the full range that each one of them can take. Continuing to work with clients, I found that whenever a company, a business unit, or a team didn't have those elements, with 20 more minutes of questioning, the person across the table would lower his or her head and admit that the problem is a low level of trust in their team. They referred to the level of trust as something that existed in the ether. It's there, hanging over their heads like a cloud, and everyone is subject to the team level of trust. But that's not the case. The level of trust that you have in me is not correlated to the level of trust you have in another person, even if we are all in the same team or the same group. It doesn't matter how tight the group is. There is no such thing as the overall level of trust in a team. Later in this book, I will describe how to calculate the level of trust in your team, but for now, I will state that it depends on the relative, it depends on and is relative to the collection of individual levels of trust between any two members of that team. Putting it in mathematical format, something that I will do throughout this book, the trust that person A has in person B is not the same as the trust that person A has in person C. The level of trust in person B is just not the same. Trust should only be looked as a relationship between two and only two people. Trust is personal.